Welcome back, everyone. Today I have another unboxing and review for you. Today I have the Adventure Force Nexus Pro, and I've heard quite a few good things about this. Heard it's very high performance and overall a very good blaster, so I'm really looking forward to opening this thing up and putting it to the test myself. Alright, first things first, let's get into the unboxing. Now that it's all unboxed, we can see what was inside. We have the blaster, a adjustable removable stock, 12 half-length darts, 12 full-length darts, a rear iron sight, 12 dart half-length mag, a 12 dart full-size mag, a flash hider, and a adapter for the half-size magazine, and the instructions. Now that we have it unboxed, let's get this thing assembled. First thing I'm going to put on is the faux flash hider here. It is just a pressure fit, so once you line it up in the orientation you want, you can just press it right on and you can remove it whenever you like. I'm going to leave that right there. Okay, next. Front iron sight is shipped with it pushed all the way back. I'm going to press it forward to the front position there. It is completely removable if you would like, but I'm going to leave it on. And speaking of iron sights, let's put on this rear iron. It presses right, slots right onto that top accessory rail, and has an elevation sight with, feels like three different positions, for if you want to store it back. That'll give you a little bit of a way to adjust elevation while aiming. I'm going to leave it down for now. Next, adjustable stock. To put that on, we're going to press up on the button here and just slide it on the stock tube, fully collapsed position, and you can adjust it all the way out. If you want it back in, press the button again and put it back. Okay, let's move on. The Nexus Pro is a spring-powered, pump-action, single-shot, magazine-fed blaster that can use either full-length darts or half-length darts. Now that the blaster is fully assembled, let's go over all of its features. Up front, we have the mock flash hider. As I said earlier when I installed it, we do have a front iron sight here, a nice raised orange front sight. We have an accessory rail down the length of the barrel and an accessory rail on top of this body. It's a little bit elevated over the front accessory rail. And another rear iron sight with elevation adjustment. Also up front we have the pistol grip style charging handle. It has a much heavier stroke than a lot of the Nerf equivalents, and that's because this shoots a lot harder than those do. It's not overly hard to prime. I assume most people could do it, but if you're a small child, it's probably going to be a little hard, and with repeated use, you're probably going to wear out a lot quicker than with a Nerf blaster. Moving on to the magazine, we have a standard magazine well, and it fits the full-length dart magazines, and to release those, you press on the magazine release on the back here underneath the trigger well. To get in the half-length dart mags, you'll need to use the provided adapter, which will slot in just like the full-length magazine, and this will slot into there. If you're using the half-length dart magazine adapter, you're not going to use the regular magazine release right here below the trigger well. You're going to use this big guy right on front, pressing that in and pulling down like so. If you press this one, it will release the entire unit with the adapter. Let's move on to the grip. It's a good sized grip, fits well in my hand. It's a little thicker than some of the other Nerf Elite grips, but I don't think it's going to be an issue even for people with smaller hands, but it also accommodates somebody with a good sized palm as well. Moving on from there, the trigger. Trigger has a nice even pull, feels pretty good. And above the trigger well here, we actually have a safety button. If the button is depressed on the right side, not sticking out at all, that means it is in fire. And to get it on safety, you press in on the left side, and that activates the safety. It is now sticking out the right side, and you cannot pull the trigger. And to remove that, press in on the safety button, and you can pull the trigger again. Moving on to the stock. It's adjustable in multiple positions, and to remove it, just press down the release and you can pull it all the way off and insert it back on. This will not work with the Nerf In-Strike stocks, but the stock that it comes with, it's fine. It's not big, but it's definitely not too small. And on full reach, it's pretty comfortable. And even fully extended, it's still pretty strong. There's not much flex at all in it, so I do like that. Also, in the removable stock, there are 2 extra O-rings that are packaged right on the right and the left side here in case you need to change out your O-rings. It does come with 2 additional ones. Another feature I'd like to point out, if you have your rear side attached, underneath there is a release button in case you have the blaster primed and you need to release the prime so you can drop your magazine and get in and clear out a jam or other mechanical malfunction. That is available for you in the middle of that accessory rail. You're probably going to need something to press it down, but just use a screwdriver. That's the basic features of the Nexus Pro. Now for the fun part, I'm going to take this out and shoot it for the first time. Let's see how it performs. Nexus Pro with the included full-length darts. Nexus Pro with the included half-length darts. Now that I've put a good amount of darts through the Nexus Pro, let's talk about the firing experience. This thing is an absolute beast. It is ridiculous, the performance you get out of this. Mainly because this isn't some custom blaster that somebody made on the internet with upgraded springs and super high compression or anything like that. This is literally off of a Walmart shelf. Go to your local Walmart, this is available, you can get it, and it outperforms anything else I've ever seen come off of a store shelf. It is insane how good this thing is. To give you a picture of that, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the FPS. With the included full-length Adventure Force darts, with the included Adventure Force full-length darts, it averaged 140 FPS, which is mind-blowing for an off-the-shelf blaster. To put that in perspective to other Nerf Elite Dart shooting blasters, which this can also shoot, that is literally double the amount of power. They average around 70, this shoots 140. It's insane, and it's more accurate and more consistent, and the Adventure Force darts are a lot better than the Elite Darts. Elite Darts, I put a few through here, and they just veer wildly out of control, where the Adventure Force darts are pretty consistent. And shooting the half-length darts averaged 147 feet per second, so even more with the half-lengths. And it honestly has blown my mind shooting this, comparing it to any other Nerf Elite Dart shooting blaster off the shelf. This wins. Firing it cycled very well. I had no jams or issues whatsoever, no malfunctions. The grip was fine, trigger felt good, stock felt good. There's barely any flex in the blaster when you get down to using it. At first I wasn't sold on how it feels because it is a very light blaster and there's a little bit of creakiness to it. Just a little, and I wasn't expecting too much from it, and I'd heard people talk real big about this online, and now I completely understand. This thing performs, and I'll say it again, an off-the-shelf, local store, buy this, insane. This is better than most modified Nerf blasters, and I really enjoy modifying Nerf blasters, so I'm both very happy about that and very sad. Alright, let's move on. On to my personal opinion about the Nexus Pro. If you can't tell by the smile on my face having just shot this and coming back, this blaster is awesome. I had such a fun time shooting it. It performs at such a high tier that I honestly didn't believe it at first, but it definitely outperforms most other blasters I've ever shot. Also, ergonomically, I like it. I really enjoy that it has a front pistol grip as the priming handle. It's a lot easier on your body with repeated use. I've shot a bunch of darts through this, and if it had a small pump action, hard to grip, something that doesn't allow you to compress it without gripping and using your hand strength, the priming spring on this is pretty heavy and it would wear you out, so it's a good thing that it has this pistol grip priming handle. Didn't know if I was going to like the stock, but ended up being very sturdy. I like the adjustment. It goes plenty small for smaller frames and extends plenty far for full-size people as well. Grip, great. Very comfortable in the hand, didn't bite in anywhere too much. Trigger felt great. I was a little concerned about the double mag ejection switches when you have the adapter in for the half-length darts, but it's pretty obvious when you're going to grab to reload for the half-length, you just grab the bigger one and let it drop out. So it kind of helps that the bigger one is the one you need to use when it is in there. Other than that, I had no real issues with this when I was using it. I look forward to being able to use this in an actual game of Nerf. And, that being said, if you're going to be using this with your friends and playing, make sure they know how hard it shoots. This will hurt, especially up close or indoors. I say don't even use it if people are within 20 feet or so, because this thing will thwop you very hard. That, and if you're taking this up against normal Nerf Elite guns, for sure, I'd recommend not even using it because this is just so much better than all of those are. To be fair and have the most fun possible, everybody should be using these and the higher FPS blasters, because the regular store blasters aren't really going to compete and it's not going to be as fun unless you just want to go out there and destroy your friends. But make sure to warn them beforehand that this thing is really going to hurt, and just try to have fun and don't go out there just trying to ruin somebody else's day who's using their 50 FPS spring Nerf blaster. Definitely even the playing field and have a bunch of fun with your friends with this. And for the price point, I don't see why, if you are into the more high performance dart blasters, I don't see why anyone wouldn't get this. More on that in just a second. Now let's talk about if I would buy this blaster. The Nexus Pro retails from anywhere between $50 and $60 depending on how it's priced at the time at Walmart. And for that price point, this is an amazing performing blaster. Getting something around the $50 mark, maybe a little bit more. I know there is a gold-plated version of this, not real gold of course, but a gold version of this that I think retails for $70, that's pretty cool. But the fact that you can get this for around $50, shoot 140 feet per second, use half-length and full-length darts, I really hesitate to think of anything that could really outperform this at this price point. So, value for money, fantastic. Would I recommend buying it? if you're a competitive nerfer, this would 100% work for you. I'm sure it could be outclassed by some of the aftermarket non-in-store blasters for sure, but you're also going to be paying up to 4 times as much, if not more, outrageously more than this actually costs. For the price point, this is going to be one of the most competitive dart blasters out there. And even for non-performance players, this is a super fun target shooter and backyard shooter for sure. If you're going to be playing with your friends though, make sure they're shooting on par with you, or you're just going to be destroying them with the performance of this thing. But for around the $50 price point, most people that are really into Nerf should be able to get in and get a Nexus Pro. And I highly recommend, my personal opinion, yes, get it. It's great. If you want high performance, if you want a good functioning blaster, if you want something you can just shoot targets with, take to a field, play with friends, this'll do it all. Just don't don't shoot each other up close with it because it's really gonna hurt. Alright, this has been my review on the Adventure Force Nexus Pro. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more of this blaster or me taking out and using it, doing anything of that sort, please let me know down in the comments. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I'm Travis. Thank you for watching.